Welcome to Zentiva Sustainability Podcast. At Zentiva, we believe that each and every one of us can contribute to taking care of our planet and do what we can to protect it so that future generations can enjoy life as much as we do. We act today for a sustainable tomorrow, and as part of our environmental pathway, we find it important to educate and empower our associates, and we warmly invite you to join us and follow our new initiative, the Zentiva Sustainability Podcast, with a series of episodes where experts explain different areas of environmental protection.
Welcome to number 3 episode of our Zentiva Sustainability Podcast. I'm Zofia Kurek-Maciejewicz, Communication Head at Zentiva Poland, and today I'm hosting Julia Rokicka, co-founder and board member of the Biorecycling Association, eco-educator, representative of the Trash Hero organization, and initiator of many waste collecting actions. We will be talking about waste, recycling, circular economy, and many more ways of reducing our impact and environmental footprint. Thank you, Julia, very much for accepting this invitation and being with us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me to this podcast. I'm really delighted that more and more companies actually see the importance of sustainability, no matter what their business is.
Yes, thank you. Allow me to start with some numbers and projections, which are actually not very optimistic. So according to World Bank, by 2025, there will be 2.2 billion tons of solid waste produced worldwide. So we cannot even imagine this amount, but at the same time, first, what we think is how to reduce this number. So where do we stand globally in the efforts to prevent and reduce waste?
So as you mentioned, this problem seems really huge. It's difficult to even imagine such huge amount of waste to fit anywhere because we have limited space, right? And also even plastic production is expected to triple by 2060 according to the OECD. So these numbers are terrible, but what do they tell us? It's that we are sinking in waste and it's everywhere. It's in Wrocław, where I come from. It's in the mountains, Polish mountains, it's in the seaside, it's everywhere globally, and we cannot escape that problem. As you know, our population globally is growing quite quickly, and the space is shrinking because we use it for many activities. So we are not able to deal with trash, especially because landfilling, for example, it's not a solution. So we really need to find more efficient solutions to deal with trash and with least harm to the environment and to the human health. And I can tell you from our Trash Hero actions in the nature, which are joined by even sometimes more than 100 volunteers. Almost every time we go to the nature, we find like a couple hundreds of bags of trash of different things, clothes, whatever, like plastics, glass, like all of these types of trash. And where do we stand? Of course, since a couple of years, there is huge push to do something globally and also within the European Union when it comes to the trash problem. In 2015, European Union has started with this concept of circular economy, which means that whatever we put in the system, it stays there. It circulates, and we have to think smart about it. Also in the European Union, in, for example, 2021, single-use plastic was banned to put on the market. There is a lot of effort done also on the global level, international level by the UN. Just last week, our Trash Hero representatives were observing the UN negotiations on the plastics treaty. So there is a lot going on in this topic, but what still has to be done, keeping in mind that it's such a huge problem, it's that we need to produce less, we need to buy less, we need to waste less, and we need to standardize products and packages. We need to examine the impact on health and environment, because this is also not clear in every type of packaging or product. We need to inform the consumers, and we need to reduce, basically.
Okay, so thank you very much for providing these foundations and principles of further and continuous reduction of waste. And let's maybe focus on some key groups that play key roles. We agree that waste is a collective responsibility worldwide, but for instance, industries and business, they definitely play a key role. So we see now new solutions, new projects, new technologies, for example, in recycling. How would you assess the efforts in this area?
So it's true that businesses and industry generally has like a key role to play in reducing waste, but we have to keep in mind that they are also producers. That's how they make the business. So of course, it's not possible to stop all that. And I think when it comes to the efforts, production companies, of course, have a big impact to do because they can switch to more sustainable packages. I'm thinking, for example, because you are a pharmaceutical company that, use, for example, more glass because it doesn't interact with meds. Also, it can be recycled forever. And now the recent research shows, Greenpeace just published an article that, for example, some plastics that are being recycled are becoming more toxic. So I think we always have to keep in mind health. And of course, plastic, there is a huge wave to recycle plastic. But is it the healthiest solution? We have to think about that. I think also companies have a big impact in making employees more aware about sustainability in general, as you do, for example, with this podcast. I think there is also a lot of innovations when it comes to packaging by different companies, but there is also some greenwashing. So I think every industry has to find their own most sustainable way within their area of activity.
Okay, and you touched upon the very important subject for us, indeed, the health. So we can agree, and this is indisputable, that less waste equals better health. And there is one particular area within this health concern when we connect it with waste is the pollution of water. Lots of plastic going into rivers, lakes, oceans. Could you provide best practices regarding protecting water from plastic?
Yes, of course, it will be always reduce the amount of the packages and generally products. Also, deposit system would help us to capture more of waste and then turn them into resources. And that goes for glass, for plastic, because those are the most commonly found trash in the rivers and also then in the seas. It's another problem is with cigarette butts that, people are putting them in the sewage system through the canalization. So it's really a huge problem because then it gets stuck. And of course, some filters can be used. But I think making people aware that this is a problem, generally making people more conscious about all the connections of waste and its impact will be a great solution for it. But another solutions are, of course, for example, for a company like you, I think it's important that extended producer responsibility is turned into law because it will help to make the packages more sustainable and maybe produce less packages again, so reduce the amount of waste. We have to remember about circular economy as a hierarchy of dealing with waste. So always keep in mind what are the first steps: reusing, reducing, refilling, repairing, rethinking, redesigning to more sustainable solutions, and recycling only later.
And also there is one step we could take before, it's preventing, right?
Of course. That's always like, do I really need this? Do I need to buy this? Do I need to produce this additional package? Maybe I can do it more sustainable.
All right. So we focused a bit on industries and businesses, and maybe to wrap up and conclude a bit, it's also the huge topic for consumers, about consumers' awareness, attitudes and behaviors. It's simple. Every day, each of us can contribute, yes, with small and big steps to become so-called trash hero, as you are, and you are proud of it. So how would you encourage each of us, our listeners, our followers, to become trash hero on daily basis?
So we only realize our impact in our scale. There's like 8 billion of us in the world. And there was this funny meme that was saying, it's only one bag, said 8 billion people. So always think about your own impact, but also that other people will follow you maybe. If they see you, that you are throwing away the trash, they will probably take example from you. So just be a good example. Buy local without packages or refill your own packages. There are shops like that. There are places, even local places, where they are just scaling food. Refuse whatever will be given to you. If you don't need that, refuse that. Reduce whenever you can, reuse, donate whatever you don't need. You can always ask yourself, do I need to buy this additional thing? Is this a resource or trash? Can I give it away to somebody? Can it be recycled? Where should I throw it away? Just basically become a bit more conscious about the big picture. And of course, take your own packages, bags, bottles, and just become more conscious about our impact in a big scale.
Julia, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.